Hey, sixth grade. Hope all is well and that you are enjoying your third day of this quarantine break. Today in math, we are going to be talking about constructing angles. So we've done measuring angles. We've measured them in circles. We've measured them by themselves. Now we're going to construct them ourselves or make them. You are going to need to have your book out, page 235. You're going to need a protractor and something to write with. The first step in constructing an angle is to take your straight edge of your protractor and draw the first line. The book does that for us for the first few. This one isn't exactly from that page, but I want to show you a few that aren't the same numbers from the book. So I'm going to take my protractor. I'm going to take that center dot, remember, is for my vertex. So I'm going to line it up on the vertex. I'm going to make sure that the line that it extends out is lined up with that. And I'm going to find 45 degrees. 45 would be halfway between the 40 and the 50. So I'm going to make a little line right there. Okay, then I'm going to turn this so that I can just draw the straight line. I can connect the two. So I line that up with my vertex and with my little mark that I drew. Because of the angle and that my paper runs out over there, it's going to flop over a little bit, but that's okay. We can still make it a straight line. Okay, so this angle is 45 degrees. Now I would draw my little arrow lines there because we know this is a line. It goes on and on and on. And if I did not already have the amount of degrees written down, I would need to be doing that. Because this is 45 degrees, it is less than 90 degrees, so it is acute. Okay, next one we're going to do is 90 degrees. So I'm going to line it up, my vertex, like so. And 90 degrees is straight up. That goes off the paper, so I'm just going to put a mark down below it. You can always do that. You don't have to go all the way to where it is on the protractor. As long as it is still in that line, then it counts. Okay, and then I'm going to line those up. And, whoops, moved that, but that's okay. 90 degrees. And then I need my little arrow. I've got that arrow there, so we're all good. 90 degrees, remember, is what we call a right angle. Your right angles are always going to have a little box drawn in the corner. That is an easy way to know that they're 90 degrees. Your obtuse and acute angles, you're going to have a curve. Okay, 120 degrees. So let's line up our vertex with our vertex marker. Make sure that the line on the protractor is perfectly overlapped there. And I'm going to find 120. Remember, there's a top and a bottom. I'm not using the top because if I made it the top, then that would be only to the 60 degrees. You should be able to see, is it wider than a right angle or is it narrower than a right angle? If it's wider, it's obtuse. If it's narrower, it is acute. So 120 is right there. Okay, that wasn't very dark. Okay. Now I'm going to make my straight edge there and connect the dots. I know I moved that a little bit, but that's because I'm doing it one-handed. So I put my arrow lines. If I hadn't gone all the way to the end of the paper, then I would have just made my arrow lines there. But because this one is a nice straight part and I got a little wonky over here, I'm going to go ahead and make the arrow lines there. It's fine either way. Okay. Moving on to 70 degrees. Remember, you can rotate your protractor any way you need to. Okay, my vertex is lined up. My line coming off of my vertex is lined up. I'm looking for 70. So here is my 70. I'll put that line right there. Now, if I were to connect those two, this line would go way down there. That's kind of obnoxious to make one side so long and the other side pretty short. So I'm going to go to about here so that they're pretty even. I don't know why I moved that. We'll line them up so that you can draw your straight edge. I recommend using 2 hands because this one-handed thing is a little rough. And then I draw my arrow lines and I make sure I label it 70 degrees. Okay, now it's going to ask you to measure angles again. We've done that yesterday. We've done it before with circles. I'm going to pick a side to line it up. I'm going to stick with this side. I've lined it up on my vertex. I follow this line. It's going to be, if I follow it all the way up, it's going to be at about 125 degrees. So I'd write 125. Because it is more than 90 degrees, this angle is obtuse. Okay, this angle here, I can already tell just by looking at it that it is less than 90 degrees. It is not a right angle. So I know it's going to be acute, but let's see exactly how many degrees. I line it up. Okay, I follow that. That's going to be about 38, 39. I'll go ahead and say 39 degrees. And because that is less than 90, it is going to be acute. Okay, so that is constructing angles 6th grade. I hope it makes sense. If it doesn't, please definitely reach out to me on Jupiter, or you can ask me questions during our block of time on Zoom from 10:30 to 11. Have a good day. Stay safe. See you soon.